Hello everyone. Today I would like to talk about a very important topic and I will call it the learning trap. So it seems like nobody is really paying attention to this topic and I was also once guilty of this problem. So back in 2015 I started to, read a lot of books. I was in this belief and thought that the more knowledge that I will have, the more successful I will become, and I will achieve more. So I started reading different books about money, about business, about discipline. Anything as long as it will help me. And after reading each book, I would feel very happy. I would feel very motivated. Especially the books about online businesses. Then I would just go out for a walk thinking like, okay, I'm gonna start this business, I'm gonna work on this project, and then I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And in the whole day, just thinking about different things that I could do. But guess what? I was still not doing anything. And instead of putting in the work, I was just going back to Amazon and scrolling and to see if there's another book that I can read. And then I would order another book. There were times that I would read one book each week, and that was my escape from the reality. I was thinking that I'm doing something very productive. I was thinking that, oh yeah, I'm not wasting my time. I'm just reading a book. It is going to help me become a successful person, and and I'm going to learn something, and then I'm gonna apply these things, the knowledge that I have learned, into something and become a successful person. Because of course, after all, nobody is going to teach me any of this stuff. That cycle continued for more than 2 years. After 2 years, I have read more than hundreds of books, spent thousands of dollars, and the same person that I was before reading these books, financial wise, wealth wise, I'm still the same person with just some extra, little knowledge and information about different things. But the amount of time and money and resource that I spent on those books, I would not, suggest anybody would do such a thing. And I regret that time. And instead of reading those hundreds of books, and instead of wasting thousands of dollars and those days of and hours of my time, if I would stick to one single thing, and if I would have worked on that, I would have achieved far more than just relying on the books. The problem is that sometimes we think we're doing something good and productive, but in reality, those things are distraction. And for me, unfortunately, the books were the distraction. Okay, so I was reading one book about, for example, let's say the 4 hour work week. And then I learned a few things here, and then I said, okay, let's find another book about this topic. And then I'll say, okay, let's learn Click Millionaires. Okay, then let's learn the Millionaire Fast Lane, and then keep learning and reading different books. And each book has different ideas, different strategies, and how to start business, how to work on something. And guess what? After every book, I still remember I would feel so happy. I was like, I'm doing something for my life. But in reality, I was not putting in any work. I was not doing anything. So the books were indeed a kind of a distraction for me. The books were actually an escape from the reality for me. And I was just not focusing on the real work. And then after reading many books, I would just still go to YouTube and then listen to the summary of some of the books as well. And if I would like it, then I would pick those books as well. So this cycle continued for almost 2 years. After 2 years, I looked at all the books collection that I had, and I said, man, after reading all these books, I'm still the same person. and nothing has changed so far. And unfortunately, for the majority of the people who are just reading these books, it's the same scenario. It's the same thing. We are reading these books, but we are not applying any knowledge and skills that we have learned into action. If you are reading a book about discipline and waking up about 5 o'clock in the morning, and there are some books about like the 5 hour club, and they are just only talking about the discipline and how to wake up early in the morning. For instance, you read that book and you're so happy, you're so motivated that okay, this is my thing, this is my plan. Tomorrow I'm gonna get up early in the morning and I'm gonna put in the work and I will work on this thing. But guess what? In the morning, first of all, you're not waking up at 5 o'clock. Second of all, the things that you said last night, you are not doing them at all. So what was the usage of that knowledge that you just acquired? Nothing. It was basically a distraction for you. It was basically just to run away from the reality of putting in the work. I think the majority of the people who are not successful and those who are successful, the main difference comes down to one thing: discipline and putting in the work. If you see someone who are far ahead than you in life, and you are not, if you look at the real reason, it comes down to one thing: it's the discipline and putting in the work. If you're just reading the book and you're happy that you're learning something, but in reality it's just a distraction for you, you're just running away from the real work. And that's exactly what I did. Nobody told me that, man, with all these books that you are reading, tell me one thing that you have achieved in life. If somebody would have asked me that question, probably I would have changed my mindset at that time, but nobody was asking me those questions. Nobody told me these things. I thought, okay, reading more books, I will gain more knowledge. I will acquire more skills and then I will apply them. But in reality is different books and reading different, minds. Yeah, it's good. It will give you some knowledge, but at the end of the day, it comes down to only one thing, and that is putting in the work. You can read one book and learn whatever you have learned from that one book. You have to sit there and you have to ask this question from yourself: that whatever I learned from this book, am I going to apply this in my real life? Is this book going to have a significant impact on my life, on whatever goal that you may have? And if the answer is no, then why waste your time on that? If the answer is no, why wasting on buying another book? Why reading another book? Why not changing the plan? There are people reading books after books after books for years, and they're still in the same place. And they never ask themselves this question: that why am I continuing this cycle? For what purpose? For what reason? Something has to change. Anything read, if you're working on any project, and if it remains the same month after month, year after year, something has to change. And if you're the person, you're just reading books after book and thinking something will change, nothing will change. It will remain the same. So if you are someone who is reading all those books, and I think a lot of you guys might be resonate with this problem. I had so many other friends that had the same issue, just reading, consuming too much of knowledge and information, and then not putting in the work. I would say that you need to just pause for a while, rethink your goal, and stick to one single idea. And if you're reading a book, you should be aware of the fact that okay, I'm reading this book about this certain topic, and after reading this book, this will add on to my current knowledge, and if I apply this book's knowledge, then it will help me with the current whatever you're doing. So if you're reading something like that, then good. Those books will help you. I'm talking about the general. You have no idea and you're just randomly picking up books so that you can start a business online. You are just randomly picking up books so that you become disciplined. You are just randomly, picking up different books and hoping to get something and become successful. I promise you, it will never help you. It will be just a completely waste of time and your money, and it will never add anything positive to your life. So I just wanted to share this, with you guys. And if any of you have, a similar, story, please make sure to share with other people. And if you like it, give this a like as well. Thank you.